Hi y'all, it's Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wingz here with another really cute project. And I think, I'm trying to think, but I think that I saw this little envelope done by Cathy in Cathy's garden. So it's not my idea, it's hers, but she does beautiful things. So if you get a chance, go check her out oh, okay, at Cathy's garden and see what she does. But this is a cute little envelope. We can unwrap it here and do this, and then when you open it up, it has little pockets inside with little tags, really cute little tags. And this could be clipped in. You could clip it in with a paper clip. You could glue it down if you wanted to and make maybe a pocket back here, and that would be kind of cute too. It's really kind of up to you. And then you just put this little string around it and tie it around, and it has a little dangle. Is that not cute? Cute, cute, cute. So there we go. That's what we're going to make today, and we are using this paper. And I'm not real sure what all this is. Maybe those were tags. Maybe, I don't know. I did put on here, this is Prima paper in the Lavender Frost. And I love this paper pad. It is so pretty and just so delicate and looking. And it's beautiful paper. So it is an A4 size, so it's a little different than what we use here in the United States. It's 3.27 or 8.27 by 11.69, so it's just a little over 8.5 by 11. But that's okay. Our one side's a little shorter, one side's a little longer, but that's okay. We're going to cut it down to what we need it to cut down to. And these are just some things I put in here for some embellishing. So I'm going to remove this little thing here and put it down here, and we're going to get started. So this is my piece of paper that I chose just because I love the roses on here. They're just so pretty, and they're pink. So how much better can life be, right? Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to cut this little nubbin off of the top of it, this little, excuse me, this little thing. And I save those because I use them for all kinds of things. I have a little nubbin bucket down here that I put it in, and there you go. So I had a little paper here, and this is just because I'm not real good on the fly. But we are going to put this down to 11 and a half. So I've got to measure on the long side, 11 and a half. We're not going to cut off much, just a little bit. But we're going to cut off about 1/4 inch. And so somewhere in here, I'm sure I have a writing utensil. So we're only going to cut off that much to make it 11 and a half. So I'm going to cut that side off first. And that one's probably a little too small too. And then this is 8 1/4, which is close enough. It's a little smidgen over, but it's not that big a deal. Not that big a deal. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our paper on the wrong side, and we're going to fold this little part down about 2 inches, I think is how far. Yeah, about 2 inches. So we're going to fold it down and make it about 2 inches on one side. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's get our little bone folder and inch it down so that it's nice and creased. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this bottom side here and we're going to pull it up. And I think if we look at this one as a sample, it's about 3 3/4 inches. So we'll do and make this whole piece here. Excuse me, my allergies are kind of kicking up today. Make it about 3 3/4 inches, give or take a little bit, and fold that right down here. We made these creases really good. We want them creased really nicely. This is a cardstock, so it's a little harder to work with, little less flexible, I should say. And so, for some reason, that doesn't look straight to me, but it's going to have to do now. All right, so we're going to make our first fold in, and we're going to make it at 3 inches. So we're going to take this, open it up, and we're going to take the left side on the right, the wrong side is folding up. We're going to take the left side and we're going to fold it in 3 inches. Give or take. It doesn't have to be 100% exact. Y'all that know me know I don't measure well. And so I get close. There we go. And then fold that back out, and then we're going to do the same on the other one, and it is about 3 1/4 inches, so it's a little wider, but that's okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to do about 3 1/4 on this side, give or take. The most important thing in measuring this is making sure these outside flaps overlap. That's the biggie. Okay, that's all there is to it. Now then, we have a paper here. This is the top, this is the bottom. Excuse me again. And I am going to turn this just to make it where maybe we can see that crease just a little bit better. It is just for folding purposes. It's really not for anything else. And then I think that I will get my dauber and just put a little bit of ink here, and a little bit of ink here, and a little bit of ink here, just so I can see where those lines are. Okay, so we see where these lines are. Now, when Cathy made hers, she cut all 4 squares out of the corners. I'm not going to do that. I am going to leave these 2 down here and fold them up, because what she did in hers is that she folded this piece up, cut this off, folded it up, and then glued this on here. And I thought, nah, not going to do that. But I am going to miter it in just a little bit on this side right here, up to that fold on both sides, and just cut that little piece out, and then we'll do the same on this side. We're just going to miter it in ever so slightly. And what this does is when you fold up your pocket or your envelope, it pulls it in enough so that when you're able to fold it this way, you don't have all this bulk right here in this seam, and it keeps your project or your item a little flatter in your book. So you need to always kind of miter those just enough to not be in, and that one was just not quite enough. Let's fold that back out. It just didn't get quite enough there. So we'll just cut just a little bit more so that those will fold up and then fold in nicely. So see how flat that is. Now, on the top, this is our bottom. This is going to be our pockets on the inside of our little envelope. This is our top. We're going to take this corner and this corner and cut them completely out. So I should have put some ink on that corner, but I didn't. So we're going to hope I can see it. And then we're just going to cut this right completely out. we're going to do the same on the other side. Right along the edge. Or right along the crease, not along the edge, along the crease. Okay, then we're going to save these two little pieces because we're going to use them in a minute. So then we have our piece that looks more or less like this. Okay, now if you're an inker, I am, now's the time to ink. It's a whole lot easier to do than later. So if you don't want to ink, then just skip right over this little part. Let me do this real quickly. It's kind of hard when you have all these trying to put ink on an octopus here. With all these little arms and legs flying in 10 different directions. And those of you that watch me know that I like, ooh, that hurt. I like to ink, and I ink pretty much everything that I make. And I just like the look. I like the look that it gives. It kind of gives a little bit of dimension to the project, a little bit of boundary. And I like that. Kind of grunges it up a little bit, makes it look a little older. I like that look. And it doesn't take that long to go around and ink. Okay, so we've done all of that except these edges right here. And we'll do those after we get them glued in. All right? So the next thing we're going to do, we have our pockets. We're going to fold them in like this. Make sure those fold over. I'm going to cut this off just a little bit more because it doesn't look like I cut it very straightly. Straightly. Is straightly a word? I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to cut off a little bit more of this because I want those two edges to meet evenly there. So let's see here if this is better. And it still could go a little bit more, but I think that's going to be just fine. I think that's going to be just fine. So it's not enough to matter. All right, so now I need to ink this little corner up where I cut that off a little bit. And I can tell that that is still not even. Yes, it was this side. So I'm going to try one more time, just cutting off a little bitty, teeny tiny sliver there, and maybe that will work. And then we're going to ink it again. Okay, there we go. Going to get our glue, and I use art glitter glue on this. I sometimes use Fabri-Tac, but if I'm not doing lace or fabric or something, or I need it to really be sturdy, I use my art glitter glue because this is my favorite glue. And I'm going to take it and just put a little tiny bead right down this side and down this side. We're going to fold that up. We're going to do the same on the middle pocket, down the side, down the side, and then also on our last little pocket down here. Okay, there we go. Now we have our three little pockets. If you want to round the corners, you certainly can do that. We can do that on the, especially on the top up here. That's kind of cool and gives it a nice little finished look. So let's do that on this one. Okay. Have to ink that just a tad where we cut it, but that's okay. That's okay. We're good. We're good. All right. Whoops. That didn't. I tried to move that too quick. And I think since we rounded the corners on this one, we ought to round the corners on these two, just because we want them to match. So we'll do that one, and we'll do that one. Now, we need to ink on the inside. Fold this. Ink on the inside. Like I said, if you're not an inker, you can skip this step. But I think ink was invented just for me. I love inking. Primarily brown, and brown is not my favorite color, but it is in this. I'm gonna ink the bottom here. And we are gonna ink the top up here where it folds over to make our envelope. And then we're going to do the same on the outside, just because we want it to all look together and blended. So now let's fold this in, and we need some on this end. This is when I can tell what I have and have not inked. It's when I start folding it in. So I bet I didn't do that side either. So we'll do that. Fold that in. Put a little bit more down here on the bottom. All right, there we go. Left over right. Fold that down. We still didn't get a lot of ink up there, but we can put a little bit more. Put that on there. And then let's crease that just one more time to make sure. Now, there we go. And this paper looks very similar to this piece. This came from the same paper pad, but this one is different, but they will blend together. They could go in the same journal and blend together and look nicely. So, all right, so the next thing we need to do is we need to put a closure on here. Now, you could put a magnet on here. You could put little Velcro dots on here if you wanted to do that. But what I'm going to do is put my glasses on so maybe I can find it. And I have these little things. And I also got this from Cathy. These I had, goodness, I had some little tiny paper pads. They're, oh, about yay big. In fact, I have it down here. And I can show you what it looks like. It's just a little, well, that is not it. So no telling what I did with it when I got finished. This is it. It's called Romantic Sketch. And I got this off of Temu. And it has these beautiful little pictures in here. And they're kind of abstract-y looking and kind of artsy. And I thought, oh, those are so cool. And in each little packet, you get about half of them are vellum. These are all vellum. And these are the same patterns, but they're on paper. And so I pulled one of these out of each design and made some little circles. And I just thought they turned out so cute. And I couldn't decide, but I think I'm going to go with that one. I just like that little flower there. And I punched them out, inked them up, and put, oh, what is that stuff called? Glossy accents, I think. Yeah, glossy accents on the top of it, so it kind of makes it look glossy. So, I am going to punch a hole in this, and I am going to do my very, very best to get it in the center. And it is going to be close or not. And I'm going to put a little dot right there, just so I know. Like I can put a dot on glossy accents. That's crazy. But that's okay. And I have a little hole here. And a little hole puncher thing. And I'm going to put my hole in the center. And I did not put a thing on that, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I have a little hole, more or less, in the center. And I have this little dragonfly brad. And I'm going to put that in there, in that hole. Put a little bit of glue on the back of it, just because I don't want it to move around. I don't want it to twirl or spin. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on his little wings here. And the main reason that I do that is because if you can tell on the back of this little thingy-mabob, the little arms that you poke through the hole are not in the center. They're off to one side. And so it makes the little dragonfly a little one-sided, a little heavy. And so if I put it right there and just put just a little touch of glue on it, it just kind of helps hold it down. Okay. Oh, I forgot to put the hole over here. So hang loose, hang loose. I'm just putting those little arms down there like I had good sense. And so I'm going to put my little hole about right there. And we will do another little hole. Now I'm not putting an eyelet in here because I don't want the bulk of the eyelet to interfere with my little button here, my little handmade button. And so I'm just going to put it in here like that and fold those down. Most of the time, well, I folded them down a while ago, now I can't. Most of the time I put something on the back of this just because I don't like for it to show and get caught on everything. I did not on this one. I just never got around to it. Put that back in my stash. But then there's our little wraparound thingy I bought. Okay, so now I have this little twine, and I'm going to put going to put a knot in the bottom of it. And I'm not going to do that one yet because I don't know how long it needs to be. And this is my little, I probably don't need to do that one yet. Hang loose. Let's do the empty end because I need to put it around here. And I'm going to have to put some washi tape or something on that to hold that down. And then I'm going to tie a knot and put it under this little button here. Okay, so I'm putting the string between the button and the flap. And I did one, and now we're going to do the other one. Do 2 knots. Pull it tight enough that it's going to stick, but not so tight that you break anything. And then we're going to cut that off. Right under there so we can't see it. Throw that away. And let me see. I have 9,000 things in my washi tape bucket down here. And let's see. That's a pretty little piece of pink. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and glue this, and I'm going to do it with the Fabri-Tac, just so it'll keep my little thing from rolling around. I'm just going to put, I know washi tape is self-adhesive, but I'm not sure how it will do over time. You know, I'm afraid that it may lose its sticky and it's going to fall off. So I always put a little bit of extra glue, and that's going to fit right across there. And it looks like it was meant to be. And then we'll make sure I have that straight. And I do. We'll trim this off right here. Trim this one off right here. There we go. And we have our string. Now then, if we make sure that's glued down, I'm going to start at the top and go over, come around. With this string, we could go around a couple of times if we wanted to. So let's do that since we have the extra string. Put it under here and wrap it around a few times. That's going to hold your thing closed. Cut this off just a little bit because I have a little charm here that I want to put on the end of this, just because I like the little charms. But I can't see, you know, I have a real dilemma because I can't see up close with my glasses on. So take them off, put them on, take them off, put them on. Except 99 times out of 100, I lay them down somewhere I can't find them. And then I'm on the hunt for the glasses. So, but anyway, and if I put them on my head, then when I put my head forward, my glasses fall down on my face. So I'm just in a real dilemma here. So let's see if we can get this tied in here one more time. A little double knot. And then I am just going to put just a little smidgen, just a little smidgen, maybe all I can get out of this. Just a little dot on here to help hold that knot down and keep it from coming undone. And I try to kind of glue it right over where the jump ring meets, and that kind of helps hold that together, and then we can clip that off, and there we go. So there we have our little pocket, our little envelope pocket. Then we can untwine it, and if you want it shorter, you can certainly cut it however long you want to. And then we want to make some pockets. And that's what I had these for, of course. Of course, of course. So we're going to get our little rounder here. Since we rounded the edges of our envelope, let's round the edges of our tag. I have one there. And then we have this one. I knew I had another one. And then these two little pieces that we cut off, I am going to kind of even them up a little bit because some of them have the little crease where we went in them, and it makes it look kind of ugly and unkept. So we're going to cut those off. Let's see how this one is. Also, it has just a little nub in there and here. These do not have to be any size, any measure. Whatever you've cut off is fine. We are going to round the corners like we did the others. There we go. And come on. There we go. There we go, and there we go. Get all those little things and put them in the trash. I know my family thinks I save every piece of paper that I have, but there are some limits that I have. All right, we're going to ink these up again real cute. Well, not again, but we're going to ink again, and this time we're going to ink these little pockets. Now, this paper is double-sided. But the back side is kind of a pattern. It's a pattern that would be easy to write on. So we're going to put one of our pockets right in here. We're going to put one of our tags right in here in this pocket. And we'll just put this one in over here. And then I think we'll do this one. And I think maybe just to make this kind of blend a little bit with our little top we put over our brad, I think we'll put a little piece of our washi tape on the top of this tag also. And we'll just put it right here. So let me put just a little bit of glue on here. Hardest part, I love these bottles. Love these little sugar bell bottles. But the hardest part is waiting for the glue to come to the bottom where it can come out the little nubbin. Okay, so we'll put that on there. Make sure that's smoothed out a little bit, and we can cut this. Cut this one. There we go. And then that will make it look like it fits with the top. Slide that right in there. And we have one more little tag. Now we could also put washi tape on this one to blend it in, since they're both kind of plain. Or we could put a butterfly or something else on there. But I think that I'm going to do another little deal of washi tape right down the side so that it looks a little different. We'll put it right down the side and cut this off real quick. Cutting is not my forte either. I'm not real sure what my forte is. I don't cut straight. I don't glue straight. I don't measure straight. But there we go. Such is life. Alright, so now we have that one on the top and this one here on the bottom, and we can kind of put it in there at a little angle. Now, you could put some lace in here, or stickers, or however you want to decorate these. I am not going to decorate this because I want this to really lay flat, and so I want it to be more like an envelope. So I'm not going to decorate in here, but you certainly could if you wanted to. That is entirely up to you. You do you, and it works. So we'll wrap our little string back around and wrap up our little dangle, and there we go. We have a beautiful little envelope pocket. Actually, it's an envelope-free pocket. So I guess we could call it a tri-pocket. Let's see, I think I only had that one go around once. And there we go. So there's our little pockets for today. I hope you enjoyed following along. I hope you make one. They're a lot of fun to make. They would be really easy to make also as a mass make, because you could make them all, then ink them all, then, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And so there you go. So if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would love to count you as one of our Pink Dragonfly Wingz creative group members. And if you have any ideas, suggestions, things that I can do to make things better, different, just let me know. Drop me a line in the comment section. Even though I've been doing this for a couple of years, I'm still really very new, and I'm not really very good at the technical part. So if you have suggestions, give me a holler. I would love to hear from you. If you have a few minutes, check out my online store at www.pinkdragonflywingz.com and see what we have to offer in there. Share with everyone you know. We need subscribers, so share, share, share. And there we go. And so until next time, you be creative too. Bye-bye.